What up, ninjas? I'm just out taking a stroll with the babies, with our twins. My wife, Sheena, who is a brown belt, actually getting ready for her black belt in 21 days. She's testing for her black belt. But yeah, she's off teaching some jiu-jitsu, and I get to play dad. Not play dad, I am dad. But yeah, just chilling out with the babies, taking a walk. Thought I'd pop on here real quick. Not real quick, we'll spend a few minutes and just chat for a minute. If you guys like these talks, by the way, we can definitely keep this party going, because I'm definitely always out walking the babies. You get to see all these cool trees above my head, so I'll try to walk under really cool trees. Gives us some nice shade as we're walking, and you guys can actually see something cool behind me. How cool is that, right? Yeah, I want to talk about two things today. I want to talk about how do we fit it all in. It's a tough one, right? How do we fit it all in? How do we fit all of these things into our life? Jiu-jitsu, work, school, babies. Man, it ain't easy, but we can talk about that. And I also want to talk about recovery too, because I think they're both part of the same conversation. So let's talk a little bit about how do we fit it all in. This has definitely been the theme of my life and my wife's life. My wife in the this past year. You know, we had our COVID twins April of last year, knee deep in the COVID. Thank God we did not get sick, or we didn't get COVID or anything like that, but we had twins last year. We already have two older kids that are teenagers, and now at 52 I have twins again, yeah, or have babies again in my life. And so the challenge now becomes, you know, how do you fit all of this in? Like, you know, we have a business and a school, and we have children and a life, and jiu-jitsu for our students and students that want to compete, and, you know, our own personal training and our own personal evolution and all of that, right? Like, it's not easy. There's kind of like so many factors that for sure go into play. And I think for me, the key has been, got to look both ways. There's cars coming. Being resourcefulness, which is the hallmark of a black belt, by the way, right? Or just anybody who's a jiu-jitsu aficionado, a jiu-jitsu practitioner. You have to be resourceful. Like, that's like truly the hallmark of the art, right? That's a pretty tree behind us there. Truly a hallmark of the art, because you're constantly going to be put in situations that are going to be uncomfortable, are going to be scary sometimes, and, you know, not easy. And the thing is, like, no one's there to rescue you there. You know, that's really the value of the art, is that there is no one there to rescue you. It's all self-directed, self-survival, adaptability, in the present moment, constantly dealing with an ever-changing environment. And so you have to learn to deal with that, right? Just like life. So, you know, we brought these amazing twins into our life. And so, yeah, ever-changing, ever-adapting life that we're, you know, privy to right now. Because it really is a privilege. It really is a privilege to have the ability to raise these children. But it does create a series of challenges in your life, you know, and maybe you're not dealing with twins. Maybe you're a college student and you have a huge workload, or maybe you're a single mom, or, you know, a single dad, or, you know, working your butt off or trying to get ahead in your career, all of that, right? And you still love jiu-jitsu and you want to train. I'm going to walk under some dope trees right now. Yeah. Hopefully they're low hanging, so hopefully I don't smack my head, because that would not be a cool video. Not very ninja-like at all. But yeah, so we're all dealing with our own set of challenges in our life, right? And it's all relevant and real to us. And, you know, your challenge is my challenge. We're all facing, you know, challenges in our life. And how do we navigate through them? How do we navigate not just survival, but gracefully navigating through these challenges? And I think part of it is that you take it on a moment-by-moment basis. You don't put pressure on yourself that you're supposed to be perfect or anything like that, and you get through it. one of the biggest challenges for me in the last year is like with the babies is like you constantly got a baby in an arm, or you're constantly, dealing with, little babies and changing diapers and all that, which is all great and awesome and amazing. But it makes it difficult sometimes to find the space to get a workout in, right? So, for me, it's before, I'd like to go to the gym and schedule a workout and do all these things, but it's very difficult to schedule a workout right now. It's very difficult to go somewhere and like have a workout. It's getting better, a year into this, but one of the great lessons for me though in this past year though is how can I sneak in workouts? How can I sneak in a workout? When I was a kid, I remember watching my grandfather, and this was, back in the early 70s, I remember watching my grandfather when he would wake up in the morning, he would do push-ups. He would hop out of bed and get on the floor and do push-ups every morning. He was a World War II vet. And I think that was a lot of that mindset back then. You started the day with exercise, right? Like Jocko, right? 4:30 a.m. That's pretty early. But the point is that like you don't need to have a place to go necessarily to work out. Like you can just drop down on the floor and use your own body weight to create an amazing workout. Or maybe you pick up your baby if you got little babies and you do some presses and some squats, right? Well, that's kind of become my life in the last year is I keep a resistance band, just a little resistance band hidden everywhere. Like I have one under the couch, one in the closet, one in my garage, a couple of them at the school. And every chance I get, I bang out reps. I don't, I'm not going somewhere to work out. I'm just literally getting these little micro moments of exercise that, will add up. They definitely add up. And, you get a workout, versus like, oh, I got to go to the gym and it's so stressful and I can't get there. And maybe I can get there some days and then I can't. And then there's all this guilt and, you feel like shit about it. I'm not sure that's really the answer, right? I think in a lot of situations, you're kind of figuring out ways to be as resourceful as you can, and with jiu-jitsu as well, you get a yoga mat. Maybe you can't afford to like mat your living room or something crazy. So you go buy yourself a yoga mat and you put it next to your bed and you get on the floor every chance you can and you stretch. You get a few dumbbells, you get yourself a kettlebell, you get yourself a few pieces of equipment, right? That's what I've done. I got the Origin, their kettlebell bag. I love that. You fill it with like pennies. It's like weighs like 40 pounds. It's a great little workout. There's a lot of ways to be resourceful and to sneak in the workouts, sneak in the stretches. It's really about a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, right? So, and it's moment by moment decisions, what you're putting into your body, how you're treating your body, the conversations you're having physically in the 3D environment with other people, but also the conversations that you're having internally as well. It all adds up to who you become, right? So, it's about taking advantage of every resource there is. You're like, I don't have time to read a book. Well, I don't have time to read a book either. What up, puppy? I don't have the time to read a book either. So you get a membership in Audible or something and you do audiobooks. That's what I like to do. So I try to find ways to multitask. Multitask gets a bad rep, right? Everybody's like, no, you've got to be in the moment. You have to, do one thing at a time. That's great. There are moments where I for sure try to do that, but I can also be in the moment of multitasking too. Like right now, I'm out walking the babies and we're making a dope video while they sleep. That's multitasking. So in a very positive light, in a very positive way. And I can do that too when I'm hanging with the babies. I'm not just like when I'm with them exercising by myself and ignoring them. They're actually part of the exercise. Like I'll lift them, I'll squat with them, I'll talk to them about the exercise. I'll let them push the weights around. I'll let them kind of pull on the bands and stuff like that. So I'll make it part of their environment too, because, of course, that's a great thing for them to see daddy exercising, to, see what exercise is all about. But with exercise also comes, let's talk about the second part of this conversation. And we're like 9 minutes into it. This is going to be a long video. I apologize if it's too long. I hope you get to listen to all of it, maybe in 2 parts or something. But the recovery is like an equal investment for you in your training. In fact, even more so, I think, in a lot of ways, as we get older. For me, recovery is as much a part of it as the training. In fact, it's usually more. I always say that whatever you put into this present moment experience. Like whatever you do today, you've got to be able to live tomorrow too, right? Like you've got to be able to function. You've got to be able to go to work. You've got to be able to, pick up your baby the next day, pick up your kids, all of that, right? And if you have a very physical job, then you definitely got to be able to like go to work tomorrow. Like you can't have jujitsu beat the shit out of you to the point where you're either injured or constantly in pain. The pain thing, I don't know, at 52, I think my body, I've just kind of gotten used to it, but I don't think that I'm like always in pain. I'm definitely sore most of the time, but I wouldn't say that I'm like constantly like in pain. But the reason I'm not is the things that I do to serve my body after the training. Things like, and I'll give you kind of the thumbnail sketch list of what I do. And it doesn't mean that's what you have to do. I don't like to give out like nutrition advice and stuff like that, because I do what works for me. And I don't know if what works for me is going to work for you too, right? Like, I have very sensitive stomach and things like that. So how I eat is, a very personal thing. I'm going to walk under some really pretty trees right now. Check out these really beautiful blossoms. There they are. Look at that. Isn't that nice? But yeah, like, I'm going to get a sip of coffee too. I'm a little dry. As we're walking and talking so much, coffee here. Cheers. So what were we talking about? Recovery there. Yeah, recovery. So it's an equal investment. Like you have to put the time in to the recovery. And what that looks like for me is, my supplements. What do I do for supplements, And I've never been a big supplement guy. Like I kind of have to even like push myself to take them now, but it's so worth it. So the things I recommend is a really good joint supplement. You got to have a really good joint supplement. The Joint Warfare that Origin sells is actually pretty amazing. I love it. I wouldn't actually probably use any other joint supplements because I've had such good results with it. And I know they're good results because, oh, that's really pretty. Every time I stop taking it, which is such a stupid thing, I pay for it, I'm immediately having issues with my joints. So I know that it's working. Their krill oil is excellent. You can get krill oil anywhere, but they use a really good high quality krill oil. The nice thing about krill is there's been some really great studies to show specifically for pain relief and inflammation with your knees. So if you have knee issues, krill oil is actually pretty amazing. The other things with recovery, I like Epsom salt baths. I think they're amazing. I think they're great for inflammation. Feels good. It's a great time. A hot bath is just an amazing time to meditate, there's a great time for, some oneness and some chill out and some focus and some personal internal observation. Like that's a great time for that, right? A hot bath with some Epsom salt is going to feel great on your body. Drinking lots of water, staying super hydrated, Jiu-jitsu is a very physical activity, so, make sure you're getting your hydration. Make sure you're eating clean. You know what clean is, right? Like, do I need to tell you what clean is? Processed crappy foods are not clean foods. Fast food, cheap food is not clean food. Whole foods, eat from the rainbow, lots of vegetables, lots of greens. I keep a big tub of spinach, fresh organic spinach, and I just eat handfuls of it with like every meal. Getting my good greens in, eat, high quality supplements, lots of water. I don't eat meat, that's a personal decision. I've been a vegetarian for many, many years. I had a lot of problems with meat. It just really bothered my stomach more than anything. If you do eat meat, high quality meat, obviously. I use eggs. I like eggs. I think the protein's important. Using good high quality eggs in my diet. But there's this investment that you have to make in your food. And my wife has really taught me too, there's certain things you don't splurge on. I know some of that stuff can get expensive, buying organic eggs, but I'd rather spend a little bit more money on high quality eggs and high quality greens than, maybe go to Starbucks or, some other thing in my life that may be a little bit more frivolous versus like my diet, which I know is the fuel for my training and for my life. Let thy food be thy medicine. So, I'm going to splurge on the food for sure because it's that important to me. So there's this great balancing game that you have to play between your diet, your recovery, taking care of yourself. How do I fit all of that in? Yeah, you find micro moments. Maybe you have a moment to watch some TV or Netflix, so you get on the floor and you stretch. You get on the floor, you do some push-ups. You get yourself a resistance band. You keep it in your office. If you're working from home right now, even better, right? You can definitely find opportunities for some little micro workouts in there. Make a commitment with your training. You know, get training in 2 to 3 times a week. Get that into your schedule, on your schedule every week. Not like some oh, maybe I'll go train tonight. No, it's on your schedule. On Sunday, you're scheduling out your entire week. Yeah, all of that stuff is like really part of the game, and you got to be resourceful, and you just got to find ways to kind of sneak it in. Like, truly, that's what it is. And a little bit of that is just kind of like discipline too. You have to be disciplined about it. You have to get yourself to do it. Just get down on the floor and do it, right? No excuses, just get on the floor and do it. And that's really kind of like, for me, the key to success in the last year. You know, I feel like a year into these twins. You know, for a while there, I was feeling definitely a little out of shape early in COVID, but I'm feeling really good now, and actually probably in the best shape I've been in years. And taking care of twins, and running businesses, and doing it all. Oh my God, how do we fit it all in? Well, we do, and we just do. And I hope you can too, but it's a game that, you got to navigate carefully. Don't burn yourself out. Enjoy the little moments. Take those little moments, man. They're amazing. The difference for me with raising babies at 52 versus, when I was 28 years old, 29 years old is, dude, I was clueless back then. And I'm still pretty clueless now. I don't know if I really have any great answers. But what I do have is tender moments of reflection where I can really enjoy the moments as they happen. Those little moments, looking those babies in their eyes, hanging out with them, walking outside, looking up at the sky, enjoying the sun, seeing all these beautiful trees. Those are those beautiful moments in life that can easily just pass you by and you don't even see them. Or take a moment and enjoy them, because life is, it's short. It's so short, guys. It's only going to be here for a brief moment, and you have to remember that. It's going to go quick, guys. If you're a young person, dude, I can't believe I'm 52. I can't believe that much life has passed. I feel like I could live another 152 years. Man, it's only here for but a moment. So enjoy every second of it. And I'll leave you guys with these beautiful white flowers against that beautiful blue sky. Os ninjas, go live your life.